We are live. Okay, I'm super excited because we're halfway through February. It is still so early on in 2020, and I just have so much like excitement for this business, for the future, for me, for you guys, and everything. And this is a topic that we haven't talked about in quite some time. And I think it's super important that hopefully, you're bringing on people, whether it's customers or for the coaching opportunity, to have some sort of guidance of helping people get started, because the more money your team makes, like the more people you bring on, the more money your team makes, the more money you make. So you want to give them a little bit of guidance. And then always, it's so important to know, and this is something that was kind of like a mind fuck for me for the longest time, but your coach's success, whether they succeed or not, like it is not on you. You are not responsible for your coach's success. You can only do so much, like send them so many trainings, direct them to the new coach mentorship, answer so many questions for them. But at the end of the day, like your coaches have to be resourceful, have to go through the training and be willing to try and learn new things and put in some effort. Because what we do as coaches, it really is so simple. It's just learning one thing at a time and just getting better at it as you go every time. And I know a lot of you that have been here for a while, when I look at my beginning posts and my first messages that I was sending to people, I like cringe and I'm like, oh, that was so bad. And you just learn as you go. You kind of fail your way forward. So just know that you are not responsible for your coach's success, but it is crucial to your business and your success in this business to bring on new people, whether it's inviting them to your challenge group to do the fitness programs first, helping them fall in love with it, and then transitioning them and then inviting them to the coaching opportunity. Or if you see someone that's just super amazing and they've been following your journey and they're interested in coaching, signing up as a coach right away. So I'm going to share my screen here. Excuse me. Okay. And okay, so just real quick, some quick recognition. There are quite a few of you that have some numbers on the board and have helped people so far, so this is really awesome. So Kimberly Klitsky, Shannon Yeager, Becklin Batts, Lindsay Deering, Megan Strobel, and Allison Mailer, all up on the board with SC2. So you just need to help 2 more people. And those of you that are maybe not even up here yet, it's just 3 people, and there is so much time left, even if it doesn't feel like it, there really, really is. So keep going. And then locked in, Nicole Schamer locked in with SC6, Rachel Kaler locked in with SC10 and is starting to work her husband's business a little more too. Awesome job, Rachel. And then myself. So way to go, you guys. It's super awesome. Okay, and then just some real quick announcements before we dive in. And something that you, why isn't this going? Should write down, here we go. Okay, so 10 rounds. I was looking at this, and this less than a month. We have less than a month until the coach window opens for us to be able to purchase and get started with 10 rounds. So March 16th is when that window opens for coaches. So if you're talking to people about it, they are able to sign up for a 10 rounds challenge pack if they sign up as a coach when doing so. And so if you're not familiar, this is going to be our newest fitness program that will be available for VIP upgrade purchase. And then will become available on Beachbody On Demand for everyone in October. But for the time being, you have to purchase it to upgrade to get the VIP early access. So our window, March 16th, and 10 rounds. It is 5 days a week. I'm trying to remember. I should have wrote this down, but I think it's 5 days a week. 3 days of boxing and 2 days of lifting. So it's really nice for me personally, I really enjoy with weights. And so I wasn't super sure about this program because I thought it was just boxing, but with the fact that it's combined with weights, I'm more excited about it. And I know boxing is such a big trend going on right now. So I'm definitely going to start talking about it. And then April 6th is when it becomes available to customers. So just kind of start thinking about your previous customers, like how can you write up an email to send to your current or previous customers, and talk to them about the upgrade options to get in a 10 rounds challenge group with you or whatever. Just start kind of brainstorming ideas. So just something to write down. And then Mixed Berry Energize, I heard that it was so good, and it really brings through all the different flavors that are in it, and that is coming in May. So that is going to be super, super yummy as well, and just another option for people to fall in love with. Okay, so I don't have slides to share for what I'm talking about, so I hope that you'll kind of take notes, and if you have any questions as I'm going through them, please feel free to write in the chat. And also, I think it's super important that you know that there is no one way to run this business. All these things that I'm talking about tonight, they're things that I've taken bits and pieces of from other coaches and their best practices and kind of just jumbled them into as sort of like a guideline. So this isn't, if any of these things are like, yeah, I think this is something I can do to help my new coaches, or if you have a better system that you feel works great, that's totally fine. There is no right way or one way to do this business. Something different works good for kind of everyone. So the first thing though, so like I said, whether you're bringing coaches on through helping them get on their fitness journey as a customer first, and then, kind of planting that seed of like, hey, you're really crushing your fitness journey, I think that you would be an amazing coach, and transitioning them into a coach that way, or somebody that you've been talking to and they're interested in the business opportunity from the get-go and bringing them on. But the first thing regardless is help them get started on their fitness journey first. Something I've learned more and more is that if they are not able to authentically talk about what it is that we have to offer, they are immediately set up to fail, because then they just become this salesperson of like, hey, I'm doing this thing, I don't know much about it, but will you buy this from me, right? That's kind of like, they don't know how to talk about it. And so if they at least have some skin in the game and have gotten started on their fitness journey, then they hopefully will not have a lot of questions for you, because they've gotten started with it and they know a little bit about Beachbody On Demand, and they've had a couple weeks to try Shakeology or the Performance Line or whatever kind of thing, and they can authentically talk about it and truly in their conversations bring out like why they love it, how they feel, etc., etc. So with helping them get started on their fitness journey, make sure that they take before photos, because being proof the product works, is one of our vital behaviors, and it's for a reason. People want to see results. So with my boot camp even, and especially with new coaches, I text them before, like, when are you going to start day one? When are you going to send me before photos? And I set reminders to say, hey, have you taken your before photos? I need you to take your before photos. Whether or not you share them with me, you need to take them. Because one, even if they're just a customer, but especially as a coach, it's just when they can physically see that before and after, then they just have so much more confidence, and it's going to help their business immensely. So make sure they take those before photos. Help them pick a program to start with. And especially for new coaches, I always recommend starting out with 21 Day Fix to get results ASAP, like their first set of results. Not like they're going to lose 50 pounds in 3 weeks or whatever it is, but at least in 3 weeks, they are able to complete a program, get a real feel for it, and get a before and after photo, however, big or small it is. Any before and after photo is amazing. And then another thing that is kind of new is that I've started doing, that I actually took away from a training from Melanie Mitchell, is I have them start a journal to document each day of their program. Like, I want them to write down every single day as they start their fitness journey, how they're feeling. Was it hard? Is it getting easier? Do they have more, like all the ups and downs of every way of like how they're feeling, what they kind of went through in that day, all those things, because then these journal entries can become posts for them to use in the future, for them to authentically talk about, versus being like, what should I say today? I need to get a post out. And then they can, go to their journal and kind of go through how their journey has transformed. So it's a really good way to help them get post ideas to like be able to authentically talk about their fitness journey. And so helping your new coaches get started on their fitness journey for the first like week or two, really focusing on that first. And then number two, so that was number one, help them get started on their fitness journey. Number two, help them curate their coming out post. And so this is one that, you know, they can do before they even start their fitness journey, but have them write it. So it's in their own words, and encourage them to tell a story. Maybe it's just about why they got started on their own fitness journey, what they're most excited about, and then just simply invite their friends or followers to follow along as they embark on this new journey. Because what I see some coaches doing, a lot of new people coming in doing like, hey, I joined Beachbody, let me know if you want to lose some weight, or let me know if you're interested in more information. And stories are like king when it comes to social media. If you can grasp someone's attention and really curate a story, and then just again simply invite them to follow along with your journey, like that is a really great coming out post to let people know about this new thing that you're starting, versus like your first post being a sweaty selfie saying, got my workout in today, starting this new program, super excited, you know, kind of like taking people along the journey with you. So help them write their coming out post within the first, you know, week or so. And it's really a great idea to have them do it before they even get started on their fitness program, but whenever kind of makes sense. And then number three, this is something that I kind of do right away too, is give them book and or podcast recommendations and have them start their personal development right away, because this is another thing that does not take any learning to start doing. Like you don't need to teach them how to do personal development. You just have to recommend a couple things. You know, make sure like they know the importance of personal development, and just say, I want you to start this book. Audible is free your first month and you get 2 free books. So download this book or whatever one sounds best to you, and listen to a chapter a day, or listen to 10 to 15 minutes a day, right? So make sure they get started on that right away. These are all things that, again, one, they don't take, so nothing they should have questions about, just something that they can just do that doesn't take any brain work. Okay. Then have them invite their closest friends / family to join them right away. This has been like so huge to like get people dip their toes into inviting. So have them, you know, as they're getting started, whether it's via text or on the phone call. But these first invites to their closest friends and family that they can send as just a text message, because they're such close in their community, they're the easiest to do. And getting started, in my opinion, and I know a lot of people that I sign up, they'll say like, I have a friend that wants to do this too. And like, I encourage them, and I always ask people if they have any friends that would want to do it with them. But it really is more fun when someone they know is on board with them. So encourage them to, you know, who are some of your close friends that would love this too, that you guys can go through this together and kind of get results together. It's so much more fun that way. And just encourage them to invite them to just jump on board with them right away, just through text or phone call, to get those first couple invites out. Okay, so that was all kind of jumbled. Like those are all in like the first kind of 2 weeks or so. And also within I'd say within the first week, get on a one-on-one call with them, whether it's like the phone or Zoom. Zoom is, you're all on Zoom. It's free. When you're doing just you and one other person, it's free with no time limit. But if you have more than one other person on, then you have to pay. But since it's just a one-on-one, it's totally free and you can do it whatever. So get on a one-on-one call with them. And literally you can just go over the business activity tracker, the Success Club system tracker with them, just to kind of give them an idea of what's going to be going. But one good thing to do, one is get to know their lifestyle a little bit, so you can kind of, see like, okay, what their business hours might be, when they could potentially work their business, help them kind of figure out when they can when and how this business fits into their life, and like just letting them know that you're there for them. And with this, if they're not responding to you, it's not your job to chase them, right? Like do what you can, let them know you would like to get on a one-on-one call so you can help them get going. And if they don't respond, or if they're not reaching out or getting back to you, like that's not on you, that's totally on them. So just keep that in mind too. But getting to know them is super huge. Like for example, I know that Steph, her schedule is like super crazy. And so I try at the beginning and like still kind of like working with her, like, okay, maybe breaking your workday up like this, or, you know, whatever, just being as supportive as I possibly can, and helping her to like figure out when and how this business can fit into her life to where she's not going to completely burn out, but still can make that forward progress. So kind of helping them figure that out right away in that way. And then have them give them the task to make their dirt list, you know, make a list of 1 to 200 people, 100 to 200 people that they know. It doesn't have to be like a super close bestie friend, but everyone knows 1 to 200 people. And these will be their first invites to people who already know, like, and trust them. So, you know, explain to them, so have them make that list, and that can be obviously not while you're on the phone call with them, but that should be definitely one of the first like business things that they do, because inviting, like getting people to start inviting right away and talking to people, you want to help them see success like as soon as possible kind of thing. So give them that task to do. And then when you're on the call with them, I do this in an email. I send out an email and explain this. So, but if you don't have an email, that's totally fine. Or if you don't have like a video that you've made, but I explain to all new coaches like the 3 different types of coaches that there are, and find out which category they fall under, so I know how to kind of treat them. Like if I should push them or encourage them to do more, or if like I know they're kind of doing the bare minimum. So just to reiterate, there's a discount coach where somebody is a coach literally just to get the discount, a hobby coach where they want to work the business a little, but they really don't have dreams of like making it their full-time job, or don't really have that hustle in them kind of thing. And then an all-in coach where they're ready to hustle, they're willing to work, and they have big dreams of, you know, maybe making this their full-time income. So those are the 3 different kinds of coaches. And I try to find out which type of coach they are, so I know how to best help them kind of stuff. I go over, again, the business activity tracker, and I don't explain inviting, following up, tracking, growing your social media posts. Like I don't explain it all in great depth. I just kind of briefly go over it so they have an idea of what they're going to learn in the new coach mentorship. Because these calls, you know, they can be as short as 15 minutes. They definitely should not be an hour long. It's just for you to kind of get to know each other, help them kind of get started a little bit. But then one really important thing, whether you do this on this one-on-one call or it's like another call that you do, but showing them how to use Share a Cart, how to sign up customers or coaches of their own. And then I always encourage new coaches to browse the Team Beachbody website and kind of familiarize themselves with the different challenge packs available, because that's one big question I get a lot too, is like, wait, what's a challenge pack? Or what do I have people sign up with? Or like those kind of questions. So that's a really great thing for new coaches to do, is just to kind of see like what kind of things we have available. And then so give them the task of making their dirt list. And then after that, give them that next task to start inviting from their list of 1 to 200, and help give them kind of examples of invites that maybe you do, but tell them, you know, personalize it to sound like them. I think it's so important to stress to new coaches. I don't like to give out invites because I just write it from like how I'm feeling in that day. And I truly feel that like social media is basically for selling now. So if you're just like copy and paste inviting, that's why I don't like to share invite scripts really. I think it should sound like you. I think it should be authentic. Like if you're somebody who's like, hey, this is kind of weird because I know we don't know each other, but I've gotten super awesome results from these home fitness programs, and I just wanted to extend an invite and see if this is something that you'd be interested in. Like if that's your jam and like you're like nervous and like you actually feel that way, then say that. I think there's nothing better than being real and authentically who you are and letting that come out in your invites and your follow-ups and your conversation, and just feeling what you're feeling and expressing that in your messages, if that makes sense. So have them give them the task to send like 5 invites or whatever within the next day or two. And then share with them like maybe how you invite, but just make sure that they know like whatever it is that you want to say, kind of thing. And then next, get them added into the team page and tag them in the new coach mentorship post and let them know to start going through that at their own pace. And with the new coach mentorship, I'm always updating it as like whether I change how I do things, or if I find a really great training about like growing social media or a different, better way of inviting, like I'm always updating that as like new information comes about, like new best practices. So keep that in mind too. It's like, it shouldn't be old, outdated information. It should all kind of be up to date. And that's something, again, that they can go at their own pace. But I had one coach that I was able to sit on a call with recently. She went 4-star in 1 year. She was in 5-star qualifications, but then dropped it the last week of the year. And one thing that she does is she spends 2 weeks with her new coaches, like getting them on their fitness journey. And then after the 2 weeks, she helps them dive into the coaching thing. So whatever kind of feels good for you, but as long as you have some sort of system, like, okay, I'm going to do this first. I'm going to help them with this first. Then I'm going to have them do this. And I'm going to, make sure you're keeping in contact with them, especially when they first sign up, because usually when people sign up to be coaches, they're really excited right away and they're eager and stuff. So that's when you should be there the most, and just kind of meeting them where they are, but really making sure that you have some sort of system that works for you, that makes sense in your brain, and all of that. Can you bullet point these tasks and post it in the group file later? Yeah. And there's no right order necessarily to do it, but I will write up a thing and post it in the files of our team page, just kind of how I have it written out and stuff, so that you can, whether you tweak it to make it your own or you go off of it just how it is. Any other questions? Awesome. There is one other call tonight, and I'm just gonna pull it up real quick so that you guys know, and I will post it in the link in our team page. But every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Time, there's the Superstar Series calls, and I know I've mentioned this before, but I just want to keep mentioning it because they're really great information. I'm just trying to find, so it's at 8 p.m. tonight, and I'm trying to find who the speaker is. One sec. Okay. It is Meg Kozlowski. So I love learning from Meg. I always learn a ton of stuff. I will post that link. I don't know what her topic is, but I will post it on the team page, and that's in a half hour if you want and or are able to hop on that. Other than that, thank you guys for hopping on. Next week, assuming she feels okay, we're going to have Ashley Ferentz, or Ashley James, now on our team call. And I know she always like brings the heat and kind of fires everyone up. So I'm super excited to have her on us. So have a good rest of your night, you guys, and I'll talk to you later.